episode number 17 of my UIM progression series, where the primary focus at the moment is to complete all the quests, which we're making pretty good progress on, although Jagex is throwing a bit of a wrench in our plans by adding a new quest. Although I have heard that it is a very good quest with a pretty decent boss that comes, a repeatable boss that comes afterwards for a decent loot. I will take a look at the update, actually, just to see if any of the new items introduced will actually be useful and meta-changing for my account. But this is a master level quest, a new master level quest, with pretty decently high requirements, I guess fitting for the tier of quest. We need making friends with my arm done, which actually we have been doing a bit of agility. We got to level 68. Which is the level needed. That was the last requirement needed for that quest, so that'll be a very, very nice one to get done. We'll do that shortly, actually. Devious Mines, I can't do that. I'm locked out of that until I have 65 smithing, so yeah, this is actually probably going to be one of the very last quests that we do. 69 agility is required, 64 thieving, 56 hunter, which we've been slowly working towards with Tears of Guthix. Actually just did that. We get about 10,000 hunter experience a week, so pretty slow going. And recommendation of 85 combat, which obviously we surpass. So, okay, so I have the new update here. The highlight being Secrets of the North, which is the new master level quest that just came out. Here are all the requirements again, which I already went over. The rewards, you get 2 quest points, 60,000 agility and 50,000 thieving, 40,000 hunter, and access to a repeatable solo-only boss, which is the Muspa. One of the rewards is the Venator bow, which is basically just, it's a tier 80 bow that I guess hits multiple enemies, kind of like the Scythe does, but obviously I don't think it's as strong as the Scythe is. So from what I gather, I don't think this bow is going to be useful for this account, just because it's not going to be worth an inventory slot just to have some niche quality of life in certain areas. Like, it just doesn't make sense to take up an inventory space for something that's going to be used for such little content. I could be wrong. There could be some major finds later down the road, but so far it just seems like it's good for AFK Slayer, and that's about it. There is an addition to the Ancient Staff, which makes it, it actually makes ancient spells stronger, which actually could be pretty decent, but from what I can get from this update is that it is actually not tradable. So, like, once you combine the Ancient Staff with it and make it into the Ancient Scepter with whatever item that you get from the Muspa, it makes it untradeable, which means that at that point we would no longer be able to store that into our looting bag, so it would just be a +1 to our inventory forever, which obviously on an Ultimate Ironman, that is not a good thing, so that's probably something that we're just going to skip over. We'll probably just end up getting the Master Wand. Which kind of sucks because the increase, the 10% more, like the 10% increase to healing spells and the longer freeze times, like that's a pretty great buff. We probably won't be able to take advantage of that. Christmas event is done, and I guess they're giving us more information on the Wilderness boss rework. I guess they were planning on making the Wilderness bosses singles, not singles plus, but now they've changed their minds and made it singles plus or something like that. The dragon pickaxe that we're talking about coming from the volcanic mine, I think it still will, but in a different way than people imagined, so that the people gathering points won't be able to benefit as much from that. But it will be coming to the Calphite Queen's drop table, which is pretty great. I think at a 1 in 400 rate. And the King Black Dragon will be changed from 1 in 1500 to 1 in 1000, so that's a pretty good update. Calphite Queen actually has something useful to drop. Other changes, combat achievements, we're not really worried about. Miscellaneous. Yeah, overall, Fairy Ring, I think this has been a pretty big topic for discussion on Reddit, at least. How people don't like this beam of light. They like the butterflies, but the beam of light is a little much. That's about it. All in all, pretty good. Looking forward to doing that new quest, even though it probably will be one of the last 3 that we do, just because of its requirements, specifically the smithing requirement. We won't be getting that for a while, so yeah, good content. Alright, we're done training agility for now, and we ended up getting 72 marks. We actually trained up to level 68, like I mentioned before, but we got to around 30,000 till our next level, which I did on purpose because there are 2 quests that we can do, both giving 50,000 agility experience. And if I did the math right, those 2 quests should take us up to level 70, which is going to be a requirement knocked off for Song of the Elves. But we did get 72 marks, which we can now spend at the store. I know I already have full Graceful, but on Ultimate Ironman specific accounts, you can actually, well, any account, you can buy multiple Graceful sets and store them in your house, but it's especially useful for this type of account because you can actually trade these outfit pieces back. I don't know how much you get for it. I'll probably put it up on screen. I think it's something like 80% return. So if I were to buy these legs, which cost 60, which I'm going to do, I can then sell them back to the store for 48 marks, which is pretty nice. And that's effectively a way to store marks in your house, which can then be converted into Amylase crystals for Herblore experience later down the line for stamina potions. And these cost 10 marks each, so I'll go ahead and buy one of these now. I don't actually plan on keeping them on the account though. I don't really want to dedicate a bag space to it since my bag is pretty full right now, and it's going to be a while before I can actually make stamina potions myself. You need 77 Herblore for that. So I'm going to go ahead and drop those 2 extra marks. I'm going to open this pack, and this actually has some GE value of 67k, so I'll drop it to the good cookers right here. There we go. Hopefully somebody picks that up, takes advantage of that. And yeah, now I have these legs, which I can store. I will not be able to take them out of the house once I do store them until I have the complete set again, but it's a nice little investment. So I'm here at Tithe Farm, and the reason for that is I want another suicide method other than Zulrah. To accomplish that, the best means would be through farming, because if you don't know, Hispori is a really good death pile, effectively. It offers a nice inventory space, and it's only a 25k fee, no matter how many times you fought the boss. And the seeds are pretty easy to obtain, especially since I do plan on planting my seaweed spores in the future. Pretty common from that. So I did actually try to boost with garden pies here, but it's not going to be very practical. I got to level 51 thinking that I could just get the level by boosting, grab the seeds, and I'd be good to go, but you do need the level 54 farming throughout, so kind of unfortunate there. I'll have to drop these and probably just keep going with the lowest tier, which I don't really like to do because the experience that you get for your time input is just not very efficient. So what I'm thinking about doing is just something else while I do birdhouse runs on the side, because those will give me access to quite a bit of fruit tree and normal tree seeds to then get my farming up passively until I'm level 54 at least. That way, when I do come here and spend time getting points here, it's actually worth it. So that's kind of where my mind is. I'm not sure what I'm going to do while doing birdhouse runs. Maybe I'll do some crabbing, or maybe just work on some other skill that I still need for the quest cape. One of the level 70s that I need. Or maybe I'll just do quests, because there are a couple quests that I need to do that I do have the requirements for. One being Beneath Cursed Sands, and the other Making Friends with My Arm. And doing those 2 will actually complete my agility goal of 70, because with the recent experience buffs to the Master and the Grandmaster quests, they each give 50,000 agility experience respectively now, so pretty huge. And right now I'm pretty much exactly 100k from 70, so yeah, that's the plan. Sporadic, I know, but we'll get it done. There we go. It's been a while, maybe like a day and a half of just pretty much doing OSRS chores, but we finally made it to 54 farming, mostly off of the seeds that we gathered from doing passive birdhouse runs. We did end up getting a Hispori seed as well, just from one of the random trees or fruit trees that we've been planting. Yeah, the variety of things that we've done over the past couple of days is actually kind of insane. We really haven't been focusing on one thing entirely. We've been doing birdhouse runs to get our hunter up, which is now level 52, and actually that means that we have base level 50s across the entire account, which is pretty awesome. We also did a little bit of AFK range, as you can tell by my gear. We got 125k until level 89. We really didn't do too much of that. We probably ended up using around 1,000 bolts. We do still have one more sapling to plant, so we'll take care of that. Another thing we did was we We made sure that our balloon transit system had plenty of logs in it, since we had an axe at our disposal for getting the logs required for the birdhouse runs. One of the main things that we focused on, at least at the start, was doing consistent super compost runs and then turning that into ultra compost. So we ended up getting 540 ultra compost in total. Okay. So I'm done with my chores. I might do this last birdhouse run. I still have 4 more mahogany logs to use. But other than that, I think it's time for us to do tithe farm, because we do have this Aspori seed. We still have the seed box and possibly the herb sack that we want as a reward from that will total 500 points that we need. I don't think we even have 100 points, maybe not even 50 points. So we have a while to go there, which is good, because we do need level 65 farming in order to get into the medium tier area in the farming guild, to then plant our Aspori seed to have a nice death storage area. So that's the goal. We're pretty much going to be doing tithe farm until we're level 65. It should be a lot better experience, because we are level 54 farming now, which means we can plant the balagano fruits. So we'll have a lot better experience rates there for the same amount of time input, and it'll just be better for everybody all around. I've been here in tithe farm for a little bit now. As you can see, we do have enough points to get our seed box. That's great. That means any other extra points that we get during this grind is going to go towards potentially another seed box if I happen to lose it, or if I happen to need to destroy it for whatever reason in the future. It doesn't really matter. But also, I could potentially buy the hat, which I believe is used in the elite stash unit. I could be wrong. It could be a different piece. I'm really not sure. It's kind of a newer one that I've never used before. So we'll see. I think it involves like all kinds of different minigame outfit pieces, like the part of the pyromancer outfit as well. But yeah, we'll deal with that when we get to it. We'll have extra points to be able to buy whatever piece we need whenever necessary. But yeah, we do have 100 fruits to turn in. This will not give us a level. It'll get us pretty close though. We are currently level 62, almost 63. And that does mean that we can actually +3 boost to our level 65 goal. Which we are going to do. We are still going to get level 65, but I just want to get this Aspori seed out of my inventory and growing right now, so that whenever we are done here, we will actually have that method of suicide available to us. So we'll head on over to the farming guild now, I guess. All right, there it is planted. I'm not sure how long it takes to plant, maybe 2 days. 3 days at most, but yeah, that's it. We'll keep going with tithe farm, I guess. There's 65 farming. I can now officially plant Aspori, even though we do have ours planting or growing at the moment. I think we can check that in the special section, maybe. Yeah, it'll be done on Saturday at 7:30-ish, I guess. So cool. I guess we'll just be waiting till then before we can actually suicide, because we do still have some rune crafting that we want to do. Actually, once we head back to Guardians of the Rift, we're going to be hooked up with our new suicide method at Aspori, and on top of having lunar magics, so that we can actually use NPC contact to repair our essence pouches there. So upgrades all around. Yeah. For now, we do have some more quests that we need to do. There are some on here that we have the requirements for, like Beneath Kurt's Sands. I believe Making Friends with My Arm. Yeah, it looks like just Sins of the Father and Making Friends with My Arm. So maybe we'll knock those out next. We'll see. Coming up on 90 range here any second. There it is. Pretty huge accomplishment. I obviously AFK way too much at these sand crabs, but is what it is. Been busy, and I also like to come here just when I'm editing. Yeah, not a bad first level 90. In my experience with the game mode, range is probably the most lacking of the combat stats, as far as like, I guess it's the most neglected. Just because with Slayer, obviously it's easier to just be training melee and magic with your burst tasks, and range just kind of sits on the sidelines. So I decided anytime I'm at the crabs, this is what I'll focus, at least until I max it out. And yeah, first level 90 on the account, really huge. This is going to help a lot. I think I mentioned before, for pretty much every other Grandmaster quest, there are several bosses that are going to require us to have a high range level, and being more accurate is going to help us there, to use less brews, less supplies, and need less inventory spaces, which is the defining factor of the fights for the Ultimate Ironman. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. I'm probably not too long. I just kind of wanted to reach 90 and then go start doing some quests. I think making friends with my arm is probably going to be my next one. So we do have all the requirements. It is already started, so why not get those fires built? Ran into my brother here at the potatoes. Competition is thick out here. But he's looking pretty cool. His Ultimate Ironman is coming along really well. Level 109, baby legs. He's got the spike manacles, which is a dream. Post 83 Slayer, which he's level 80 at the moment. He recently got his fire cape, so took on Jad. He's got his Fury, so he's been crafting. He's just got to get that Slayer recolor. I think he actually was getting his Slayer helmet out of here and getting some potatoes to go do some. I don't even know what he's doing, honestly. But this is actually a very nice Master Stash unit. Because if you don't know, it's basically a way to store your Slayer helmet and your Dragon Defender all in one with your Dragon Battle Axe, which is actually really nice because the Dragon Battle Axe offers the same bonuses as a Super Strength potion. So later on, this stash unit is going to be incredibly good, but we do need like level 80, I think, at a minimum, level 80 construction to build this, because you can get a +7. It's a +8 boost if you get a +5 from the stews, combined with your +3 from the crystal saw, which will take you up to 88 to be able to make Master Stash units. So that is definitely going to be a goal on the account. I would like to get to the point where I don't have to stew boost at all for it. So just the +3 boost with the crystal saw would be ideal, meaning that we would need to get to level 85. So I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing construction grind. Obviously, you need cash for it. I have an idea of how I'm going to do it, but I'm just kind of theory crafting it. I'm not really ready to start throwing ideas your way yet, but near future, I guess, near future. For now, we are all prepped to go do making friends with my arm. We've got all the items needed. We've got some food, defense potion. Let's go talk to Larry at Relica. There it is. Making friends with my arm is complete. 2 quest points, and the experience rates for this quest, since it is a master quest, got buffed. So we get 50,000 agility experience and mining experience, 40,000 fire making experience, 10,000 construction experience, and our third and last disease-free herb patch. Once we have the fire built over there, I believe. So 269 quest points in total. Nice. We have 147 out of the 156 quests done, which means just 9 more. Cool. Let's see if this gets us any levels. It does. Level 69 agility, 48,000 from level 70. And anything else? That's it. Cool. We did get a lot of mining experience though, so we're relatively close to level 73. And still 10,000 off from another construction level as well. Cool. Yeah, so I guess now all that I have to do is mine the salts down here, because we now have access to this salt mine down below Weiss. Yeah, we'll just have to mine enough salts to first make the fire pits, and secondly, I do plan on making the portals to Weiss and to the Troll Stronghold in my house. So that'll be minus 100k there, but it'll be worth it because that's very quick access to 2 disease-free patches for future herb runs. But the fights overall in this quest weren't that bad with 90 range and the crystal bow with void. I did use the explorer's ring when I got low on energy because you do have to run all around a lot, and I didn't even bother making a prayer potion for this quest. I used my charge on the Falador medium shield whenever my prayer got low, and at the end of the fight it did run out, but I had plenty of food to counter that, so Yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy. There was a warning beforehand saying that if I were to die during the fight, I would lose all my stuff, but I'm really not sure. There are other instances where it does say that still. It still gives you in-game messages, warnings. But I'm not sure because there was an update that changed it recently where when you do die in an instance, it puts your stuff outside of the instance, like when you're fighting Skatiza, or when I died during that new Goblin mini quest in the Goblin only area. My stuff, instead of just dropping to the ground within that instance and then disappearing on my death, it was dropped outside of the instance, where I was able to reclaim it. I'm not sure if that can be done. Maybe I'll look into it. I'll put an answer up on screen if I find it. But yeah, fun times. I'm not sure what. Oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be making fires. There are several fires that we can do. All right, kind of got a game plan put together for these fires. We do actually need 60 construction for the highest level one, and I believe that's the one that is put outside of God War's dungeon to make it so that the cold doesn't drain your stats or your hit points or your run energy or anything like that, which is very useful. Really good that we're going to have this fire made before we even touch God War's dungeon. So just really good quality of life. But we do not have 60 construction at the moment, so we are going to have to go get our crystal saw. Luckily, that provides a +3 boost, so that's that problem solved. We can build all of them, no problem, after we get our crystal saw back from the Gnome Stronghold. But we'll just kind of go through them real quick. So the Fire of Eternal Light, I believe there are 2 places where we build this. One being in the Cave Horror Cave on Masa Harmas, and the second being the Giant Mole's Lair under Falador. So that'll be great. That'll save us an inventory space in the future whenever we grind for our Black Mask, and if we're ever killing the mole for secondaries for Ceridom and Bruise. Next, we have the Fire of Nourishment. This requires 35 construction again. This one is for the herb patch on Weiss, or Weiss, however you say that. This is going to get us our 3rd and final protected herb patch. And then the Fire of whatever the fuck that says, no idea. Dehumidification. So this requires 50 construction. And what this is going to do is just make the swamp a little more bearable, I think. This will be made in the Mortmire Swamp when you go past the gate, where normally it will start decaying your food. And if you don't have food, I believe you take damage maybe, or maybe nothing happens. I can't remember, but regardless, we won't have to worry about losing food, at the very least, in the Mortmire Swamp. That'll be good for collecting secondaries again, for super energy potions. Let's see. The last one is, we've already talked about, for the God War's Dungeon, 60 construction. We'll need the Crystal Saw for that. So I do have the tabs up on the wiki. I've already done the calculations as to how much salt I need, how many mahogany planks, steel bars. I also added in the portal chambers. That's kind of why I'm in my house right now. I am going to make a 3rd portal chamber to then add the Troll Stronghold and the Weiss teleport portals to my house, just to have easy access. And for that, we do need these salts, and I have that added up to my tally in my notes. So good to go there. Also, since a portal chamber, with a portal chamber, I can make 3 portals. This will be 2 out of the 3. I do plan on making the Kirill or the Canifis teleport off of the Ancient Magic book with 66 magic and Desert Treasure complete. This is actually a hard task, I believe, for the Canifis area. So for now, we'll just do that. Maybe not right now, because I will be getting blood runes as a reward from doing Guardians of the Rift in the near future. So I probably won't waste my money on that, and we are kind of running low on law runes as is. So that's the plan for the 3rd portal right now. I'm not sure. It's not a very good utility one, since I do have the Salve Graveyard one already, which is just right near Canifis. So utility-wise, it's not a very good one. It's just going to be used like once for the achievement. I'll have to go through the list to see which one I would prefer. West Dordogne is a pretty good one, especially once I start using my Iban staff very frequently. I'll need to go there for charges every now and then, and it might be good for doing Song of the Elves as well. and clue steps, but so far, just off the top of my head, that's probably the best one for it. Other good ones, I just don't have the magic level for yet. So, yeah, that's the thought process. Let's just, I guess, actually build our third portal chamber. Get the supplies needed to actually build the portals, the teak planks, and the limestone, and then start mining our salts. Just got done mining all the salts that I need for the portals and the fire pits all throughout Gillinor. Figured I'd showcase them off. The basalts you're able to mine, you do need to note them because they don't stack. You can just come up these stairs and you can use the basalt on Snowflake here and she will note them for you once you have a full inventory. So that's how I got 200 noted without having to leave. But we will go ahead and use this on our salts. And we'll make one of each here just to kind of showcase exactly what these are. They are effectively teleports. One takes you to Whis, and the other takes you to Troll Stronghold. Pretty cool animation that I'll probably never see again on this account. Just because we will have the portals and we will have no reason to come back here and mine them unless we want to throw them in our portal nexus in the future. But this one takes right to Troll Stronghold. If you do have the hard diaries done for the Fermatic area, it puts you at the top of here because, as you can see, the shortcut requires 73 agility, but it also requires the hard diary to climb up here. But yeah, once you have that done, puts you right up there next to the herbs. Until then, I will have to just go through the stronghold like normal. But we are a little closer because our closest teleport was at the top of, well, I guess I can show you on the map. It was here, the Trollheim teleport, level 61 magic at the top here. Had to take several shortcuts down and then run over here. So that's a nice little shortcut unlocked through these teleports. But for now, let's go ahead and head to our house. We have already made the portal chamber, and we got the materials needed to build our frames and our focus. So we'll go ahead and focus Troll Stronghold, and then we'll focus number 3 for Whis. Cool, nice. And those are unlimited teleports unlocked to my undying herb patches, or soon to be undying, I guess. I now have to use the remaining salts that I have gathered to make the fires, and for that I need 2 mahogany planks and 2 steel bars per. So we'll go ahead and head to blast furnace, make some steel bars, and start doing that. Right, we got our mahogany planks, we got our steel bars made. Most of them are sitting at the blast furnace still, so we'll just make our first fire and we'll keep picking up more as we get more inventory space. We'll build our first one here. I need a tinderbox, of course I do. There we go, there it is. That does not give as much construction experience as it should, but there we go. Fire of nourishment, which means that any herb that I plant here is going to be protected from now on. So it'll be a good place to plant like my ranors, my snapdragons, any high tier herbs. Not that those are necessarily high tier herbs, it just any herbs that I'd want to keep alive. Priority herbs, if you will. So let's head back to blast furnace, get some more bars, keep building. Alright, next up we got the swamp. We just teleported to our Salve graveyard through our portal in our house, and the fire's right over here. So look at this guy. This is future me. This is why we're doing this. And there is our fire of dehumidification, which makes these guys not able to munch on my food. So. Alright, there it is. First fire of eternal light. 2 more to go. Falador Park. Dig into the mole lair. That'll be our second fire of eternal light. Very nice. That'll save us 1 inventory space whenever we decide to grind out mole. Last fire, or last fire of eternal light at least. We do have 1 more to build, and that is at God Wars. So I did grab a rope from the lighthouse general store because you do need this to get into the God Wars dungeon for the first time. So I figured, why not, making the trip there, might as well, while I'm not there for combat, saving inventory space for later. Just looking ahead. Yeah, and we can actually get here pretty quickly through our house now since we built the portal to Troll Stronghold, so all part of the plan. Alright, so I tried it with normal restore potions. I guess it doesn't restore construction levels or any of these levels, I don't know. So I'm gonna have to do super restores, which I don't think will be a problem. Let's take a look. I'm just tired right now, I need to get some fucking sleep, but thought we planted snapdragons maybe? No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, this might be a tomorrow task, but we do have the necessary ingredients in our looting bag. We actually do have super restore doses from a quest that we did. I forget which one it was. I think it was Zogre Flesh Eaters or something. You get it as a reward at the end or something. So we can go ahead and use those doses. We also do have a lot of red spider eggs and snapdragon seeds in our bag that we'll have to plant at some point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm going to go to sleep. Alright, so I'm looking at this new update. The new Wilderness boss rework is finally coming to play. And it looks like there are two versions of the boss that you can kill. One being within multi-combat, kind of like... I guess the closest thing in the game to this would be Nex, where there is a loot share system in place for these bosses just specifically within their lairs. Kind of cool. I guess as long as you contribute, you will get loot. There is an MVP system, just like Nex, where you do have a better chance at the rare rewards if you are the MVP. I think there's also a solo way to do it. If you don't want to do the mass worlds or whatever. That's cool. It looks like they've actually made these bosses more mechanically challenging rather than just punishing, which is great. Love to see it. It means you don't have to take all the damage for no reason or lure them into a safe spot. Realistically, I mean, that's what people did because they were just too difficult to take down. That's good. Good changes. I guess there's a new sword that's coming into the game that's pretty similar to the whips in stats, but it has a better special attack. So I have no idea if that's going to be worth getting, if that's going to be meta anywhere other than PKing. I guess we'll see. And they made changes to the wilderness weapons as well. I'm not really going to go through that because it doesn't really apply to this account. Or Ultimate Ironman in general. I'll get to this when I get to it, I guess. I'm not anywhere near a point on this account where I'm ready to go into the wilderness for this kind of stuff, so... something great that did happen is the... oh yeah, here we go. New singles plus bosses. Cool. But no, something great that came out of this is that the Dragon Pickaxe was finally moved to Calphite Queen and the Volcanic Mine. Calphite Queen, it's a drop rate of 1 in 400. Okay, and they reduced the drop rate for the Dragon Pickaxe at the King Black Dragon as well. It's going from 1 in 1500 to 1 in 1000, so better chance of getting it there too. Nice. I'll have to see how many points the Dragon Pickaxe is from the Volcanic Mine. I don't think it's said here in this blog or whatever. No. Okay. Yeah, I'll just take a look at how much it is, and I'll probably put it up on screen or something. But yeah, great change. You're able to get the Dragon Pickaxe from by other means, not just the wilderness. I always thought that was a really strange limiting factor for a piece of mining equipment, but it's great. It's been fixed, and it's been put into a drop table that honestly probably needed a buff. 2 drop tables that needed a buff. Alright, so I came up with a pretty good plan for suiciding, because if you remember, we did plant Hispori, which should be done by now in the Farming Guild, and that is going to be our new method of suiciding, instead of Zulrah, for whenever we need to clear our inventory, and it'll be nice because we'll have a nice little interface, and it'll only cost 25k to unlock that interface once we've died there. And I have accidentally used an earth rune from my stack, so let me... and a law rune. I wish there was a way to prioritize teleports coming from your rune pouch rather than your inventory, but we aren't living in 2030 yet, so there we go. We've got 100 laws, earths, and fires, and this is going to be our method, because when we die, we are going to spawn in Falador, and I have our house moved to Tavalry, so it's just a short walk from there to Tavalry. Obviously, we'll have access to our entire house once we get there, and we will use this portal. So we'll select destination number 2. It's the only one that's not used. Let me just make sure I clicked on number 2, because I don't want to replace Troll Stronghold or Weiss, because I would have to go mine those salts again. Okay, so we've selected 2, and we're going to look for the Battlefront teleport. We actually used to have this one, but we replaced it with the South Graveyard because it was closest. It was closer than Battlefront to a fairy ring. The reason I'm doing this though is because I won't actually have my Drayman staff once I die. It'll get deleted, which means technically every death that I do at Hespori will actually cost me 55k, because I have to go to the Ornamencer in on Lunar Isle and pay her 30k to get this staff back. Otherwise, I would have to go to Entrina with no armor or weapons and kill zombies to get an axe, you know, do the whole quest again there to get the actual Drayman staff. But cool. We've got a Battlefront teleport, and this is going to get us close to the Farm Guild. We'll go ahead and take it, and I'll show you. So we step through the portal, and we are here, Battlefront, just south of Mount Kurlum, and just to the east of the Farming Guild, which is where our stuff is going to be here at the Hespori patch. So, cool. Let's head over there, let's get killed, and take advantage of an empty inventory space once I have it. Alright, we're just outside of the Hespori lair, over here in the Tier 65 section of the Farming Guild, next to Arno here, who will be our personal banker. If I check what items I'm going to lose on death, this is what will be dropped. This is what will be deleted. Like I said, the Lunar Staff will get deleted along with the Crystal Saw, so I'll have to go reclaim that. And the looting bag does get deleted, but everything within it actually gets put into the death storage. So I wish there was a way to like verify that, hey, this stuff won't get deleted, but it is what it is. Cool. Alright, so now we know exactly what's going to get deleted, and we will just head in here and die. And here we are, just like that. Almost had enough run energy to make the whole run. And we should just be able to collect from Arno here. There we go. Gives us our total approximated value of just over 3 mil. That'll change as soon as I unlock it though. And you can pay with the cash that you have in the coffer. You don't gotta worry about having money on you. Yes, pay the 25,000, don't ask me again. Cool. And from here, we can just take everything that we need. There's our first palm tree planted. I decided to take some of the seeds that I can now plant that I had in my looting bag, since I got my farming up quite a bit. I decided to take those out first and just do a little bit of a tree and fruit tree run, because we can now do the palm tree, the papaya, and the 2 yew saplings that we had stored. Yeah, so this one, hopefully it lives. I might come and check on it every once in a while just to make sure that it does. This is actually for the Hard Ardoin Achievement Diaries to have a palm tree here. In fact, I think palm trees are a pretty common theme for diaries all throughout, so that'd be great if that stayed alive. The papaya I don't think is an achievement, so I'll just literally plant that anywhere. And then, yeah, these anywhere as well. Tree run is done. I did end up getting another Hespori seed. from this by checking a pineapple plant that I had. So actually we might be able to kill Hispori once we have our inventory all figured out, everything out of the death storage, so that we're not risking it. We'll probably just get our first KC and plant this one, because I don't really see myself suiciding anytime soon after this one. So yeah, I'd like to kill this as much as I can, but obviously since it is going to be our main source of death, it makes it a little difficult, which means that the bottomless compost bucket is just that much more rare for this account, just because we rely on this death storage. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So next on the agenda, now that we have our seeds kind of cleared up, actually not quite, I might do something with these snapdragons actually, maybe. We do need to get a crystal saw back. I should have done that. I went to the Gnome Stronghold quite a few times on my farm run. And we do need to use our super restores to be able to build our last fire. So I think that's what we're going to do next. I'll plant these snapdragon seeds, get them out of the inventory. And then we will get our crystal saw and come back for everything else that we need for our last fire. Okay, yeah, so I do need my lunar staff back. I almost forgot about it. And as you can see at Purdue's shop, I can actually buy the lunar staff for 60k, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save myself 30k. I bought my Fermentic boots, which gives us 1 teleport per day to the Fermentic area. And we're just going to head to the Lunar Isle and claim it back from the Ornamencer. After we get our sealed passage, of course. There we go. Just like that. 30k. Got my staff back. Alright. We will go clear my inventory up a little bit more. Snapdragons need to get planted, and I can use my Whis portal for the first time. Alright, we did it. Only took 1 dose of Super Restore and the +3 boost from the Crystal Saw to help us out get to level 60. And that's our final fire. Fire of Unseasonal Warmth. And we will never take stat damage here again. We'll keep our run anytime we want to go to Godor's dungeon. Actually, I brought a rope so that I can attach it there. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. I don't need this stuff anymore. Crystal Saw can go away. Cool. So let's pray melee. And I think we have to talk to this knight. Gives us a scroll. Cool. Read it. Okay. And use our rope. And there we go. We are in. Let's get the fuck out of here though, because we don't have the proper equipment. We'll probably get killed pretty quick. And our stuff is at the death storage, so don't want to stay there. Cool, we can drop that, store our hammer, and I don't know, I guess I'll get set up for some other quests. I do have my stack of Ranars, which is looking nice, and I did actually have an Aventil planted, which I replaced with one of the Snapdragon seeds that I had. And I figured, why not keep the stack? I'll probably need some excess Herblore experience for Song of the Elves. We do still need to get to level 70, so I'll commit a stack to that. Why not? Right now, I guess I just want to take a look at our quest log. There are some quests that we still can do that require quite a bit of combat, so I'll probably keep my stack of Ranners on me. Let's see, or no, I'll probably store them because I do have a stack of Windows prayer potions, I think. So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. I'll probably be doing Beneath Cursed Sands next, just because that does have quite a bit of combat associated with it. It'll get us our 50,000 agility experience, the last experience that we need for level 70 agility, which will be great. It'll give us access to the Chaos Partisan and the Circuit of Water, both of which are going to be amazing. Obviously the Chaos Partisan is going to be best in slot whenever I have a Calphite task, and the Circuit of Water is going to be great for mining sandstone in a safe manner, which means that I can have my stuff in a death storage and be relatively safe out in the desert, safe enough to risk the desert heat. Also, I'll actually be using that for Hunter, because the best lizards that we can trap at the moment are the orange salamanders, so I'll be doing that up until I can catch the red ones. Yeah, so that'll be some great upgrades. It'll also give us access to a new ferry ring AKP, which takes us into the new part of the desert, new part of Menifos, I think. I don't know if it's connected, if it's the same city or not, but it'll give us access to raids 3, which yeah, I don't know. I might send some duos with my brother in entry mode. Yeah, we'll see. First Spori kill coming up. Got all geared up. Make sure I don't have anything to collect from him. Cool. That means if we do die, we won't lose anything. Which I doubt we will. This is a pretty easy boss fight, but yeah, let's get into it. I'll speed it up for you. Cool. First Spori kill. Atrocious time, but working with what we got. Let's go get a spade, seed digger, and clear this bitch. First unique Isosaur seed. Might as well plant that now. The Irit seeds I'll just go ahead and drop. Not really worth planting at the moment, but awesome. Get our new one ready to go. Alright, so I've died 2 times to this boss fight. I honestly don't think I'm ready for it. I don't really have the gear or the levels. Maybe the levels, just not the gear. Every time he spawns that shadow, which is pretty often, like I get maybe 2 or 3 hits on the boss and he spawns his shadow. And then it takes me forever to kill the shadow. Like, I'm literally fighting the shadow most of the time. And a lot of the times, actually, 2 times that I fought the shadow, I haven't killed it within the time that he does his little shadow attack. So, like, he spawns a shadow, you need to kill it before the room darkens, otherwise it just does a shit ton of damage to you. And I just can't kill it within the time frame. So I'm pretty much just fighting somebody that's not actually the boss, and I will just use all my supplies before I can actually kill the main boss. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to not do this fight yet. I'm just going to wait. It's not like I need to complete this quest yet anyways. I'm going to wait till I have better gear, maybe better levels, beef up a little bit with Slayer, because I do need level 69 Slayer to do Monkey Madness 2 anyways. So I'll wait until I'm a little bit more beefed up. And next time I go in there, maybe go in with some super strength and attack potions. Yeah, it's just not really feasible right now. I don't feel like dying over and over again. Like, I could probably do it, but I just don't want to die. I don't want to keep dying, keep using looting bags. Had to do a shit ton of last man standing. I don't enjoy just brute forcing this kind of stuff, especially when I can better my account, especially when I still need to better my account for other quests. So I'm just going to not beat my head up against a wall. We're going to just pickpocket, get enough money for a water skin and for a Shawnee pass, and get back to my grave and move on. I do need to make money. My cash stack is looking pretty slim. I'm under 200k right now, so I'll probably just get the things that I need to for Guardians of the Rift and just start rune crafting. I think I am going to end the video here. It would have been nice to wrap up with the completion of that quest, but obviously I need to get more gooder. So we're going to start kind of by, I guess we're just going to kind of get into a skilling groove. One, I want to rune craft, but two, I also want to turn these seaweed spores into actual giant seaweed. That way we have at least one of our ingredients needed to get our crafting up. I would like to get our crafting to the point where we can make a glory and beyond. Fury would be ideal, but it's not needed right now. Well, I shouldn't say it's not needed, it's just not feasible at the moment. Just because, like, I could get the crafting level to make the onyx necklace or the onyx amulet, but I wouldn't have the magic level in order to enchant it. You can't do that trick where you go into Rage 1 anymore and use a overload or whatever the fuck. So I would actually need the magic level 2 enchant it, which is 87, and realistically I could get a +3 boost, so that would be 84. We're pretty far off from that. Don't really have the means, don't have the cash to get our magic up that high. So Onyx Amulet or Fury, just not really on the table at the moment, but we can enchant Dragonstone, so getting up to 80 crafting would be very nice. So I'll kind of look through the calculations to see how much giant seaweed we would need for 80. Realistically, I'll probably see how much we need for 90. Or at least whatever level I can boost from. So like I could do a +4 boost with the Solaset mushrooms from Fossil Island. You could make a mushroom pie to get a +4 crafting boost pretty easily. So I'll take a look to see what I need for 86. Because honestly, I don't think I'll need anything past that unless I want to max, because the as far as the Zenite jewelry is concerned, the Ring of Suffering is the only one I really care about. I don't think these other ones are really worth the slot for an Ultimate Ironman, just because the Fury is a hybrid necklace. You can use it for all 3 combat styles, and I just don't think these provide enough of a bonus to warrant taking an inventory slot for the game mode. I might change my mind on that later on when I'm at like complete end game, like raiding, solo raiding. I might change my mind on that, but for normal account progression, and I guess just when I start to dip my toes into PVM, the Fury is just far superior. Plus it's less switches too, so but the Suffering is going to be best in slot for this account just because of the defensive bonuses that it provides. I believe it's the imbued version at least is +20 to all of your defensive stats, so really, really good stats. The only other ring I could see myself using on this account is the hybrid ring, the Brimstone ring, which you get from killing Hydra. That would actually be really nice as well. That would be my offensive ring, and this would be my defensive ring. Also, the Ring of Suffering, you're able to charge it up with recoils, so very good for Zulrah, very good for certain God Wars dungeon bosses. But we'll stop that tangent. The Dragonstone Amulet is going to be really nice because it's going to be mountable. The Glory is going to be mountable in the house and provide a bunch of useful teleports. One being, I guess the most useful one being Drainer, because it really isn't a good place. There isn't really a good method to teleport there or to get there. So the Drainer teleport and the Edgeville teleport will be very useful there. Plus it'll just be a direct upgrade to the Amulet of Power that I'm using now. So I'll get going on planting the seaweed. Right now I'm just here on Port Khazard to get my diving apparatus back and my diving helmet in order to be able to camp that. And maybe while I'm there on the island, I'll train my melee stats up just a little bit, but we will see. Got kind of carried away on that crafting tangent that I completely forgot that I was filming the outro. So here we are. I guess we'll do it here, underwater. we're all prepped to start this giant seaweed grind. I did the calculations on Oasaurus Portal, and we need about 5,000 giant seaweed, so this will take a bit. I'm not sure if this is all that I'll be doing during the time. Maybe I'll find something else to do while it's growing, like training melee stats or something like that. But on screen I've got my account summary up, just to show you where I'm at currently. We are at 147 out of the 156 quests complete, with 1562 total level and just over 35 days played, so looking good there. I do appreciate you sticking around to the end, and I hope I will see you in the next one.